Happy fall, Augusta Nation. This is Liz. I'm at the command center. So when you come to visit us, you'll come right through there. And it all happens up there. Let's go in and see if we can find RAE. So here I am at command, and I'd like you to meet Rachel. She wasn't here when we came by last time. And I was wondering if Rachel would like to tell us when she started Augusta, where she started, and kind of her transition to being here at command.
Well, I started I believe it was March last year, so it's been over a year and a half now. And I actually married somebody from the States, and
Are you Canadian?
I am
That's
Canadian.
the closest foreign country.
Yeah, so I'm a dual citizen, so I have my American and Canadian citizenship. So when I moved to the States, I ended up working for Augusta in March. And then we started out at the Bellingham location.
What did you do there?
Basically, it's actually a little bit different. So we would answer phone calls, emails, all that. And it was just for the Bellingham location. And then we would also ride the skid steer, load customers up with barks, gravels, different things like that. So it was a bit different in that aspect.
And you were only servicing Whatcom County?
Yeah, so only the Bellingham location, so all the different areas that Bellingham reaches out to.
Okay, and were you in the office that most of us have seen there in the big open space?
Yeah.
So what was that like, having all the crew coming in as well as all of the office staff there?
It was pretty cool because you got to kind of hear what the guys were kind of about their day, and you kind of knew what was going on with that specific location a lot. You'd see how the guys grow a lot, different things like that. So it's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm. So now the role is completely changed. Mm-hmm. Let's go back a little bit before that. I know that Mike approached you to work at Augusta. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about the jobs you did before that until you moved to the States.
So my first ever job was as soon as I could get a job, so it's probably 14 maybe. I worked at KFC Taco Bell. That was my very first job, so I was in the fast food industry. That was actually a lot of fun, gave me a lot of different skills with people, interacting, different things like that. My second job was called Matou's Coffee and Tea, and it was basically, I was a barista there. Also a lot of customer interactions, serving people. I also got a lot of experience just with pricing. I took on a little bit of a leadership role there, so it was kind of neat. And then my last job, which I'm really thankful for before I left, was an eye clinic. So I had gone and done the prereq program for the nursing program, and while I was waiting to get into the program, I got a job at an eye clinic, and they were very innovative, which was really awesome because when I moved to Augusta, it was kind of a good transition over.
They used automations, didn't they?
Or
a lot of follow-up with customers and a lot of more modern techniques in their service.
Yeah, we had all the social media accounts, and we kept up on it, and they were doing Google ads, different things like that. So I was kind of prepared a little bit in that aspect for what I would be getting into by joining Augusta.
And so Mike had said to me, what about Rachel? She's really good, and we just knew you were so professional, really good with people. And so we asked you to come to Augusta. Well, when we started the command center here, Lonnie needed someone, and so you came to help her. What I've noticed on our end is when there were so many of us in the other office, it was hard to get everything completely delineated, as in we're all in the same room, we're hearing the same conversation. Do you think it's a lot better to be focused, being out of that environment?
It is definitely focused. We still can hear each other's conversation being in this room, but it's completely different. We're all talking to different people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat, and it could be a total different franchise that they're talking to, and you kind of zone in to what you're doing here, which is kind of
So what do you do typically in a day of work?
So typically come here, set up all your stuff on the computer. I'll usually check the emails.
And do you just check Augusta's emails, or do you check all of the franchisees, or just what we call full service?
So we only do full service. So
Okay.
anyone who is full service, they get some special attention. We check their email. They also have one-on-one text messaging with us if they need anything. And we usually are on the phone a lot more with them and able to help them out.
So you help them with Service Autopilot. Do you structure their estimates for them?
Yep, we still do their estimates. That's something that we do for everybody.
Okay.
But they still, of course, get that service as well.
Okay, so full service, you check their emails and you respond to the emails?
Yeah.
Because you're able to look into all of their customers' profile and see what they need. They can ask questions about their invoicing and everything.
Yeah.
So it's just like them having a full-time office staff without having a full-time office staff.
Exactly. I mean, and even if they need to have some of their things like their scheduling done and their dispatching, we also offer that as well if they want. So.
Okay, so what about if customers call from their location and they call to complain, thinking that you're local? How do you handle something like that?
Basically, if they think we're local, we do try to our best effect. We basically try our best to make them believe that we're local because we don't want them to feel like they're being kind of brushed off. Like,
Right.
We're not a local company, because really we are helping a local company.
Right.
And we are their office staff. So
Right.
we try to our best ability to make
So
them
you
feel-
take the full concerns and complaints, and then you would create how would the franchisee know? Do you create like a note for them somewhere in Service Autopilot?
Yeah, so we basically would go into their profile, and from there we're able to create something called a call note to the franchisee, and we just let them know everything that's going on, leave them a phone number if it's something that they would have to handle. Sometimes we let them know that they can reach out to us if they want us to do something specific for them.
That would be full service people, right? Or is that mostly full service?
Mostly full service for that, but yeah.
So the difference for full service is you're basically their full office support, whereas if they were not full service, you're building their estimates and what else?
So we still do call notes for them, but we probably wouldn't reach out as much as far as asking them what we can do if we can do something to fix the situation. Whereas people who are full service, they'll often call and be like, hey, can you call this customer back? Tell them this. This is what's going on.
So they would know, oh, Rachel at the office said. So that's how personal it is for the customer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So for the franchisee, what benefits are to them? So let's say you're a guy who's a really hard worker. You know all of the business of lawn care and landscaping, but you have no clue about office stuff. What would the benefit to them be to be full service with Command?
So especially people who are just joining and they have no knowledge on Service Autopilot. Maybe they've had a bit of training. But
like their 3-day training is all?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But it is a pretty complex system. So there's lots of resources for them to reach out to get the knowledge. But especially starting up, it'd be very useful for people who are new franchise members, because we are fully trained in it and we've dealt with it for a long time. We know everything about it. So I feel like that would really benefit people. And then at the same time, it would help them learn as well.
Right. So let's say they already have Service Autopilot and they're completely overwhelmed. What does Augusta offer, better than Service Autopilot? Or I wouldn't say better, I would say to make Service Autopilot better for them. Would that be automations and things like that we build?
Yeah, so we do build different automations and things. So for example, after an estimate goes out, we have an automation for follow-ups. So they don't have to worry about it. We set up automations for them, and they basically, their customers get emails every certain amount of days. So then their estimate isn't just
So it's just not like, just flying in the wind, because I know before we had automations, you didn't have time. So you didn't have time to think about, oh my goodness, we're so busy. How do we go back and remember? You don't remember. And you'd actually have to take full days to go back and physically call all those people. So they get a follow-up automation. It comes to our office. It goes to the customer, and then we get follow-ups to our office as well to communicate with them within a certain amount of days,
so
right?
After 10 days, we get an email notification that we need to call them and follow up with them.
And our specific Augusta, we moved it to 5, so that it's some of them still haven't gotten their estimate by then, but that's not such a bad thing, because then we realize, oh, maybe it went in your trash, or maybe there was an error in your email address. So it doesn't get lost. It's bringing it to their attention constantly. And if they haven't really, checked their email and gotten it in the last 5 days, they still have to now acknowledge it, because Brandon on our end is on the phone. Yeah. So would a guy even need an office staff where he is if he had command?
No. So that's the benefit of us being here, is we do all of their office work, unless they got so outrageously busy to where they really just needed someone fully trained over there with them. I think that us, especially starting up, it's just a great service for them. Also, what I really think is neat is that it's totally personalized to them. So we set up their calculator to their products, their services, different things like that. And we have all of the knowledge and base over here to be able to check, oh, this franchise only does these services when different people call. And that's a great thing about it, is you don't have to do landscaping. You can start with just mowing, which is super awesome.
So if a guy was totally alone and just floundering around, and then he joined Augusta, it would still be like he was an army of one, kind of, but it would seem like he had an army behind him, because what you would do is free him up to be able to just do his estimates, right? The customers wouldn't be calling his cell anymore. Do they have a local number that they would call, that they would think they were calling locally?
Yeah, so we use a system called Grasshopper, and in that system we're able to see where each franchise member is calling from, and then we're able to select the number. Basically, when they call us, it is a local number they're calling.
Awesome. So if a guy has had all these customers on his cell all this time, he could just stop answering his phone and have it on his voicemail, please call the office at blah, 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 with the new number. And then from then on out, he would be free to work all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So if somebody called and wanted an estimate, like from the get, like no previous history with that gentleman, you set up their profile and service autopilot, and then you just schedule him an estimate?
Yep. So we're able to have access to everybody's service autopilot, so we can look at their schedule. We can make sure that it's not in a conflicting time. And then we set up their whole profile, put all the notes in for the estimate, we schedule it, and it all goes very smoothly.
What is the best thing about working at Augusta?
I think that it is amazing working with the people I work with. Everyone's super positive. Everybody is very encouraging, and it's really like a family vibe, like a real team. It's super awesome, and everybody is just supporting each other, which is really amazing.
We encourage the franchisees and then all the others in our landscaping industry to use WhatsApp, because we use that to give the guys their videos the night before the jobs and things. So how does it work now that you've moved over here? Is there like a command chat and then a large Augusta chat, so that, say, the guys in the field are not texting their receipts to the entire Augusta team? How do you guys split all that up?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different group chats. So we have our command center group chat that has us who work in this location here.
Which I would never see, even though I'm local. So it just keeps it, to the pertinent things here. Okay?
Yep. And then we have the Augusta team chat for Bellingham, which has all the guys in it. You, of course, and the team for Bellingham. So that's the Bellingham team. And then we have the expense chat, where everyone puts their receipts in, and that's where, so that's not all getting mixed in with all the different chats. It's very specific for that. So it's a system that's been incorporated. That's really awesome.
So for somebody to put their trust in Augusta, it's really the people that make the brand. So the people as a whole, the people that you work with, do you feel like it was somebody, we are all as a team collectively, somebody that those people would want to make a commitment to for a long time and know they could be taken care of?
Oh yeah, 100%. Basically, Augusta just wants to see you succeed. And that's what we're here to do, is to help and make that happen. And
So
that's why we have all these services.
right. So Mike's vision for the franchise, is it more, can you sense from all that he does and the way he does everything that it is to help people,
Oh, yeah.
not to make money?
No, 100%. That is the full concept of it. It's to help people and to see them succeed, really.
Well, we're really honored to have you working at Augusta.
Thank you.
We appreciate you on the team, and you've seen a lot of growth in the time you've been here. It certainly isn't at a place that sits still for long and keeps things status quo, is it?
Nope. It is ever changing.
Yes.
You're constantly learning.
That's not for everybody, obviously,
Yeah.
but we love to learn.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, thank you for your time to Rachel today. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.